Hey everybody, it's Eric Stevenson, and I am here with the very hard to pin down, not in high school, Chrissy Seidler. It's been a tough getting together for this. What have you been doing?
Just busy, Eric. The whole real estate thing really puts kind of like a,
It
well,
puts a damper on your career.
it really does.
Well, so I guess that leads us into what we're doing today, and that is what?
I'm pretty sure this is the first episode of Spilling the Real Tea.
Oh, hey everybody, welcome to episode one of Spilling the Realty. I am Eric Stevenson, and I am here along with my partner in crime, Chrissy Seidler. Chrissy,
Hi, everybody.
how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you today, Eric?
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm doing really good. It's a nice day outside. I figured since this is our first episode, we might as well give the 17 listeners a little bit of insight about who we are and why we have any type of qualification to even talk real estate, talk, the market, anything like that. So as I said, I'm Eric Stevenson. I have been in real estate since 2004. I was born in Connecticut and got married to my wife Tanya in 2001. And we moved to Florida in 2013, lived there for a few years, and then moved here in 2018, which is Murphy, North Carolina. And we've been doing real estate ever since. And just enjoying life and enjoying the great little area we live in. Chrissy, how about yourself?
Well, I'm Chrissy Seidler, born and raised in Washington, D.C., made my way down to Florida in my late 20s, where I got my real estate license. Moved up to North Carolina just for a change of pace, became a North Carolina broker and a Georgia broker. I also own a property management company and a cleaning company. Things go hand in hand.
Brag much?
I'm not bragging, Eric. I'm just stating the facts. That's what we do as realtors. We state the facts. I don't want any misrepresentation here.
Okay, good. Because you do get misconstrued quite often. You remember how we met in this real estate market?
I do. We were actually doing a deal a few years ago, and you fell in love and wanted to be my best friend, and you chased me around, and I was like, okay, fine. And then we held hands and we skipped off into the sunset, and then Tanya came and said hi, and I was like, hi, and that's where the magic started.
It did, and I remember that house too. I remember it very well. Happy Valley. That was a fun one. We've worked a few deals together since then, but like she said, that was our introduction, and I think she has it a little bit
No,
flipped around
no, I
as
don't.
she was calling me.
No.
Are you going to come over to the Donna's Arabian team? Are you going to come over to the Donna's Arabian team?
I was just trying to make you live to your full potential, Eric.
I know. Well, that is a little bit about us and who we are, how we met, and how we are, I think, evolved into telling you what we know about the market and stuff. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about the market, the state of the market in our area a little bit, and we're going to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on what's going on there. So
Market trends, especially in our area of Murphy, North Carolina, Western North Carolina, like between 2020 and 2023. It's kind of the area we're going to be focusing on today. At least for our area, 2020, of course, lots of sales. 2020 was kind of a weird year with, the plague and all that other stuff.
pre-COVID, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, here, 2020, we were selling at 95% of list. 2023, year until today, we're selling at 96.4% of list, which is actually kind of surprising. Before I looked at all these numbers, I didn't really, I honestly thought that we were selling a little bit higher as far as list to close, but I was wrong, Eric. I was wrong.
which is very rare. I mean, it is for you out there listening. It's super rare that she's wrong. At least what she says. Anyway,
It
and
really
also,
is.
yeah, and also I look at the numbers too, and I see closed sales. Like if you look at closed sales, 396 closed sales from January to this point in 2020, and 389 from January to now this year. That's and comparing that to the actual closed sales volume, which is 84 million to 130 million this year. You can kind of tell the median sales price has gone way up.
Oh God, yeah. It definitely has. But I've also noticed a trend recently, Eric, and this is just in personal sales. It doesn't have anything to do with, you know, the market really. But the trend I've seen are buyers are definitely going in lower, and in some cases, up to $20,000 lower. And preparing our sellers for that has kind of been interesting. That talk has been super interesting. Lots of tears, lots of, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to get your money for you.
Mm-hmm.
You
I've
know,
noticed the same thing. It's almost back to the 2020 days when you were preparing your sellers for that kind of thing, because normally 2018, 2019, I think we were seeing a lot more price reductions and stuff like that. And I think we're kind of trending back into that. And based on last year's numbers compared to this year's numbers, it kind of looks like that as well. Um, Even though the median sales price is up from last year, um, the closed sales volume is down almost 28% from last year. So, the market is definitely trending a different way, but the prices aren't showing that, which is crazy. And our inventory, this is another thing that I thought was kind of interesting too, is we're always thinking about inventory, but the months of inventory we have last year at this time was 1.75 months of inventory left in the area. This year at the same time we have 2.32, so we actually have a little more inventory this year than we did last year, um, which is kind of strange as well.
right. I'm going to kind of take an aside here. How do you prepare your sellers for this market, Eric? I mean, I know how I do. I just want to know
Yeah.
it.
You
I
just
just
walk
want to
in and
know how
go,
you
and they're like,
do.
I'm going to list with you. um, I'll just give you an example of the last one I did. So the last one we did the CMA on, it came out a little higher than they were anticipating, which was great. So I was able to prepare them much easier. I've been telling them kind of what you've been saying. Um, you know, Based on the way the market is trending right now, I would expect you to be getting offers maybe $10,000 to $25,000 less than asking price. And then once we get them past that, without going too much over, what they want to list for, because we worry about appraisals too. Then I prepare them for, guess what's going to get asked for after inspections? Credits, which wasn't really a thing we heard last year too much, but now it's starting to happen again. So I'm seeing a lot of uh, definitely less in offers, and then more asking for credits or repairs on houses. What about you?
Now, I kind of do the same thing. However, when I chat with my sellers, I do let them know, hey, by the way, we're not going to close at the list price. It's probably not going to happen unless I am so amazing and I price it a little low, but then I feel like I'm leaving money on the table. So typically, I go in and I pad the price a little bit so that they don't feel that $5,000 that, the seller closing cost concession, so that they're not feeling that. That's the biggest thing I do. Yes, we have to look at appraisals, and I'm really glad that you mentioned that. Our appraisals have actually been super strange lately. I mean, we just got one back. It was $15,000 more than what the house listed for, but then, a week later, we got another one back and it was, spot on with the $15,000 seller concession.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It's like I want to pad the pricing as much as I can for my clients, and I try
And
to get
guys, listen to this. If you're an
I
agent, listen to this.
yeah, I try to pad it as much as you can, but you can't go too far over. That's why you have to do your comps and stuff, because you have to at least be somewhat close, because appraisals now are getting pretty strange. Chrissy had one. I just had one just like that too. Listed the house, which I thought was the right price. It came in within $5,000, so I was okay with that. But then I had one about 3 months ago that we had where I thought it would be, and the appraisal came in like 20 grand low. It's like I think it depends on who you get, maybe, but sometimes it's tough to think about these appraisals, and that's the one thing that I try to get them on board with right away is think about appraisals before we price this house, because if it comes in with a loan, we're going to worry about that for the first 2.5 weeks. So that's why we try to price them correctly.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, because I know we have listeners all over the continental United States and actually some in Hawaii and Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Oh,
know that we have that. But in
aloha.
North Carolina, our contract does not call for a finance contingency, nor does it call for an appraisal contingency. So we have to be really, really careful with our timeline.
And if you do have write an appraisal contingency in there, who has to do that, Chrissy?
An attorney, Eric?
Yes, you can't just write it on the additional items line,
No,
which
unfortunately, the North Carolina Real Estate Commission wants to blame us for everything, but doesn't think we're smart enough to do anything.
yes,
Bam,
unfortunately, yes,
commission.
yeah, yeah. I loved it when I was in Florida as an agent. I mean, there was so many protections for everything. It was great. Here, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Here, it is a little different. So that being, the big thing that goes along, I think, with the way the market's trending now. I think we're seeing some cash. I've been getting a lot of cash people lately again, which is good. Um, but we've been seeing also since around this time last year, maybe April, May, that's when the interest rates started ticking up a little bit. And that's when people started being a little more wary. And that's kind of when the market changed and the inventory changed. And I've been seeing that, but historically, we're not even high. It's just people are freaking because in 2021 it was 2.5%. So when I bought my first house, it was 7.25.
Right. But we also have to remember, Eric, that as at least in our area, we do have a lot of lower income folks. And those folks are being priced out of the market right now because there is no lower income housing,
Mm,
especially with the interest rates the way they are. I
right,
mean, I have folks that are trying to get into $200,000 houses and just can't because of the interest rates.
right.
And I mean, that being said, that's a huge thing with National Association of Realtors right now, as well as our local board, Mountain Lakes Board of Realtors. We're really trying to figure out either some kind of lower income housing, as is National Association. We are, lobbying the state as well as the federal government, trying to get grants, which we are actually getting grants into the area now for housing. But we've also found that the grants that we're getting, I mean, while they are free money, you still have to have credit to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the folks I'm seeing still haven't kind of jumped on the bandwagon of, I actually need to have good credit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, low income, state of the market, seriously being affected here.
It is. And, you think about back, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when the interest rates were kind of similar, but the housing, wasn't nearly as high in certain areas. So, especially here in 2018, 2019, where it's ticking around five-ish, 4.5 to 5. I mean, when you're buying $100,000 house, there's a huge difference when it comes to that interest rate. And I just have a quick number here, just based on buying something for 300,000 at 5.5%. Your payment would be about $1,700 a month. If you're at 300,000 at 6%, you're like $1,960, and that can kill your debt to income ratio right there. So that's why we're seeing a lot of people not getting approved either, especially if they have steady jobs. You feel so bad because I love helping first time home buyers, but it's very hard to help first time home buyers in this market.
It's super hard. And agents, you guys need to take this and really hold it close to your heart. When it comes time to write that offer and when it comes time that you're, showing folks homes, you really need to be discussing, hey, by the way, interest rates. Hey, by the way, that was then, this is now. Hey, by the way, this is what you make. This is what your lender's looking for. I mean, you're not a lender. You're not trying to tell them how you're going to structure their mortgage, but you really need to prepare your buyers for the reality that, just because they make X amount of dollars doesn't mean that they're going to be approved for an X amount of dollar loan.
Exactly. Because if you make X amount of dollars, but you have X amount of debt, then that could really throw you off. And also another tip for people, first time home buyers looking too, if your lender approves you for $300,000, that doesn't mean you have to spend the $300,000, because that will be the very top of your affordability calculator. So
yeah, guys, that's called your cap.
yeah, try to stay a little below that. I think that might help you out in the long run.
That would not only help you out, but it would save Eric and I a lot of time and money on tissues when you decide to go out and purchase a stick of gum, and now your debt to income ratio
Yes.
is too high because of that stick of gum when you're trying to close on a house.
Exactly. And another thing with that too is if you're really tight on your loan, but you can get it done, don't buy anything. Don't get credit on anything until maybe 15 to 20 days after you close. That is something I have told numerous people, because unfortunately some lenders don't really relay that information. But anyway, that's the type of stuff that's going on here with the market. I've been doing the same thing with buyers. Unfortunately, you're telling them, the market's trending this way. I don't think we're going to have multiple offers on this. I would say let's just, let's come in at 15,000 lower and see what they say.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we already know that we're padding the sellers just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I'm representing a buyer, I'm definitely going to try to get them the best deal possible. I mean, that's just what we do.
Yep.
And while I don't want to be offensive, and I certainly don't want to piss the list agent off, I mean, I'm going to come in as low as possible. And I mean, if my buyers are like, oh, yeah, let's go to $100,000 lower, I mean, that's a hard no.
Yeah.
And agents, you need to explain that to your agents. I hate getting a message that says, don't shoot the messenger. No, dude, I'm going to shoot you because you didn't explain to your buyers that they're being dumbasses and they're going to be offensive. And, just out of general principle, even though I have to present the offer, I'm going to be like, look, sellers, this is the worst offer ever. And because I'm an asshole, I really think you should counter higher than list price.
Oh, that's the best, isn't it? I love doing that. I love doing that.
Anyway, guys, don't do that really. I'm just, Eric and I are just that way sometimes. But,
Quick story about that. I had someone do that kind of at the beginning of when we started to trend a little down. I had someone offer, I think it was on a $300,000 house. They came in at like 220.
Oh,
like
nice
super insulting offer. So when I presented it to my sellers, I said, and they were like flat out no. I said, do you know what would be better than no? Go in $80,000 higher as the counter. So
absolutely.
That's what we did.
Absolutely. I mean,
we're happy.
You don't do that all the time. You just do that sometimes. I mean, we really are professionals.
The out of area agent pissed me off, so that's why I didn't care.
Speaking of which, out of area agents coming into Murphy, not knowing what in the heck.
Yes.
Screwing up our comps. I mean, it's amazing to me. I mean, I'm seeing things come in that are at least $100,000 higher than they should be. Not even in our MLS. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different time. I'm sorry.
It is, but I agree. I refuse to show houses. I refuse to show houses in Asheville because I don't know that market. So if you're in Asheville, don't come show here because you don't know our market.
please don't. Or give us a call.
Yeah, well, I'd be happy to
Referral?
do a referral. I'll send them back to you. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Just,
Not a problem.
yeah, make it easier on everybody.
Not a
Easier on everybody.
problem. All right, so let's get back into the numbers a little bit and maybe give some actual relevant information to agents that are listening and to
Mm-hmm.
buyers and sellers that are listening.
All right, go ahead.
Um,
Where are you starting?
I'm going to start with my sellers. Again, guys, we are still at probably close to the top of our market here in Murphy, and everybody knows it. Everybody's seen it. And for sellers, we just need to be super careful that we're still not pricing ourselves out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
We need to realize that, you know, folks are coming in low. We need to realize that buyers are a little hesitant, and we need to, you know, kind of figure out a way to soften that blow a little bit without leaving money on the table and making sure that we are representing our sellers to the fullest.
Right. I agree. One of the things that I used to do in Florida was right away. If I knew we had some padding in there, to make the blow a little softer for potential buyers coming in, I would have my sellers agree to pay up to a certain amount of closing costs, and stuff like that, just to maybe attract a few more and help people out. Because like you were saying before, with first time home buyers and, you know, people who are kind of money strapped, but they're looking for a house, that's one thing that can help them out exponentially, not having to pay that $6,000 in closing costs if they can get that back into credit, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't like doing it for sellers, but for buyers, I'm pushing it all the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand that. Eric, do you care if I take a jump real quick? Because I think
off a bridge,
running
no,
like
no problem.
A little short on time here, because I know we're trying to keep it at like 30 minutes or less. And
yeah,
the fact that you and I just talk and talk and talk and talk.
It's discouraging, isn't it?
It really is. It's a little bit worrisome sometimes. It's like, you know, does anybody really care what we're saying? I really think that they do, but, you know.
I hope so. I mean, hey, we might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we're spilling the tea.
Absolutely. And as we get deeper into podcast land and past our first episode, we're going to really be spilling some tea. I am telling you, we are going to come up with some shit that you guys are going to be like, what?
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. But real quick, I just want to jump into investment properties. I want to jump into the rental market again. Our rental market here in Western North Carolina, North Georgia, our rental prices are super high. Incomes are still low for those that are renting. We still have a shortage of homes. So if you are listening, and we know you are, give me a call, or give Eric a call, or give anybody on the Donna Sarabian team a call, and let us know that you want to rent your house out so that we can help some people. Yeah, I mean, right now we're trending 3-bedroom, 2-bath, depending, as long as it's not a total shithole. We're looking at anywhere between $1,500 to $1,800 a month, which in my opinion for this area is a little bit high. But again, you know, we have a fiduciary duty to represent the landlord in this. So, you know, we try to, you know, keep prices where they need to be. Sometimes it's a little bit hard. I mean, prices have jumped up exponentially here as far as rentals go. And I, for one, am a property manager that will not raise prices anymore. You have my word on that. I cannot, I will not. And my owners are aware of that. We're as high as we are going to go. Good. I can't.
Yeah, you can't. The rental market, like you said, is so crazy right now because there are so many low income people and families that are looking, but unfortunately, you can't get anything like with any kind of room for under $1,000. But like Chrissy said, call anyone on the Donna Sarabian team. Then we'll refer you to her where she makes all the money.
We'll call anyone anywhere, really. I mean, I'm not even trying to like make all the money. I'm actually like being super serious here. I mean, there are other property managers in the area that are great.
There's a ton of property managers in the area. So whoever you use, if you can, work on helping some lower income families out, that'd be fantastic by keeping your
Absolutely.
prices not stupid crazy. I'm
Yeah,
looking for some
absolutely.
land right now to try to build a couple tiny homes, but it's virtually impossible to find anything that's unrestricted where you can do that. Whether to sell as very affordable homes or rent as very affordable homes, it's just so hard. So I'm
It really
trying.
is.
Chrissy's trying.
And it's a sad state. It is a sad state, and it breaks my heart every day when I know that somebody's applying for a rental and I can't approve them. And let me just explain to you guys why I can't approve you. Some property managers go based on credit number, some go based on a lot of other things. I really hope you guys are getting the video on this and watching Eric and not just listening to the sound of my beautiful voice lulling everybody to sleep.
It
But
runs through
anyway,
you like a set of razor blades.
fuck. Oh, my
That's
bad.
okay.
So anyway, going back to rentals, I don't even remember what I was saying. I
You
seriously
feel
don't.
you feel bad when someone is trying to apply and they're not going to.
Right. So you guys have to remember income and the market that we're in. Yes, rentals are high, but most property managers, if not all property managers around here, are looking for 3 times the rental amount. So if it is $1,000 a month, you guys need to make $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month and not have $2,000 in debt every month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's a big thing. So guys that are renting, ladies that are renting, families that are renting, just remember that. And if you have questions, make sure you ask. All
We'll
right,
be
I'm
happy. We'll be happy to help you out either way. I just want to get people into houses if they're looking to get into houses. That's the main point of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one more thing. One little plug for our Mountain Lakes Board of Realtors.
Uh-huh.
We just started a community outreach program, and we are going to be working with lots of different folks on lots of different things. But our very first thing, Mr. Stevenson, you know what it is? Know what it is?
No,
Know
what
what it
is it?
is? Know what it is?
No, what is it?
We are going to be doing a fundraiser for Valley River Humane Society.
Yes, my favorite. That's
So
great. I love
we're
it.
helping all the doggies and kitties in the area. And when you guys see this go out, you'll see a link on Facebook. Please, please, please. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a dollar cat toy, donate something. We really, really, really,
Yes,
really appreciate your help and your time with this.
absolutely. Because I know there's so many stray dogs that Valley River can't even take in. So they need a lot of help, which is a great thing to do.
It really is. And I'm not allowed to take any more dogs. I've gotten in trouble. I beg for dogs every day. I had the cleaner in the other day in my house, Eric, and like it was so bad. I think she was there for like 5 hours and she didn't even make my bed because there was so much dog hair on the floor. And I'm like kind of living the single life right now. So I was like, I have like this little robotic vacuum. I don't know how the hell to use it. So it kind of just sits in the corner but whatever. So off track. So
That's
off
okay.
track.
They're just showing
This,
how much you love animals, which is
yeah,
great because I love animals too. And like you said, that community outreach is a great. Doing it for Valley River is fantastic. I love that.
yeah, we're super super excited about it. We have a lot of fundraising coming up. We're working on a lot of new initiatives, and we'll discuss that in the podcast later on. But anyway, we've gotten way off track,
That's
and
okay.
I
Sometimes you get off
am
track.
super appreciative of everybody's time.
Yeah, thank you for listening for this half hour. And like Chrissy was saying before, we have more to come. We're going to have special guests, special segments. We're going to try to pop a couple of these out a month if we can get Chrissy to lock in a time.
We will
And
lock in
then,
a time, Eric,
okay,
and I am
good,
sorry.
good.
And guys that are listening, I'm sorry if this was a total shit show, but you kind of get the gist of how things are going to go. Eric's going to act like he's the main, what the fuck? Eric's going to act like what? Eric is going to act, I don't even know. But
This
my
was
mouth's going to get me in trouble.
this was all brown a month ago until Chrissy started pushing me on. Now look at all the white I have. It's insane. I'm 21 years old.
Please. Please.
Please. All right, kid. We will hook up in a couple weeks and we'll try to get something else together. Maybe have a guest next time and I want to thank everybody for listening to our first episode of Spilling the Real Tea.
Bye, guys.
See ya!